Hello and welcome back to the Work-Life Balance series. I'm so glad you're here with us again. I'm Austin.
And I'm Denise.
And the question of today is, why don't your friends support you?
Let's talk about it. So the question of the day is, why don't your friends support you? So this is a really touchy topic, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
Right.
But let's have some fun with it, right? So we're just going to do a little list. So our 7 reasons why your friends don't support you, right? So number 7, it's going to be, are you about your business? That's how I like to actually start off this series of questions.
Okay.
Are you about your business? Are you trustworthy? So what I mean by that is, when you start a business, can your friends really count on you to make sure you're going to be on the up and up in your business?
Right.
Can they say, hey, I know that person. I know she's about her business. I know when she puts her name on something, it means something. Does your name mean anything when it comes to business? If they refer business to you, can they trust that you're going to take care of the clients that they send to you?
Man.
That's a huge deal.
Right.
I'm in the real estate industry, so that's huge. If someone sends me business, that means that they trust the fact that I'm going to take care of their family or friends or whoever it is that they referred to me.
Right.
Because your name is on the line just as well as their name is when you refer business to someone. So are you about your business? Number 7.
Right. And then reason number 6 is this. What you're doing might not be popular. I'll bring up a really recent example. Nipsey Hussle was doing what he was doing for a long time, almost a decade actually, right? He was pushing positivity, he was pushing ownership, he was investing in tech, he was using group economics, doing all these really cool things. But even in his hometown, right, where there was so much love, there were also so many people that didn't really connect with what he was doing until he passed away. And then nationally, right, there was a wave of emotion and an outpouring of care after he passed away, and then interest in his message, but it was all after the fact.
Right.
Because while he was doing what he was doing, it wasn't popular for most people to get involved. It was much more popular for rappers to be talking about women, cars, clothes, which he talked about some, but they never talked about the rest, which is, hey, how do you level up in business? How do you take your lifestyle from one of minimal means, right, not being able to make it or trying to make ends meet, to being an actual boss so that you can employ your friends, right, ownership of your actual music, all kinds of things that he was doing, but it wasn't popular, and so people didn't necessarily connect in the way that they did after he passed away.
Yeah, that's interesting. But the reason that they were able to connect is his consistency. So that's going to be number 5.
Right.
So are you consistent? And what I mean by that is, do you have squirrel syndrome when it comes to business?
Yeah.
Is your business going to be here today and gone tomorrow? So you have to make sure that you're consistent. If you say you're going to do something, you have to do it.
Right.
We're reading the book right now, The Richest Man in Babylon, and they talk about that consistency. When you tell yourself, I'm going to complete a task, make sure that you complete that task. And that's going to show through in everything that you try to do. If you start a business, you're going to see it through to the end. Or are you one of those friends that, people know once you start it, you may be excited about it when it first starts. You may make a post or 2 when it first starts, but then, a couple months later, they ask you about your business. It's like, girl, I ain't doing that no more.
Right.
Are you that kind of friend? So
So
be consistent.
Absolutely. One of the things I would do, give you guys a little exercise or homework assignment. Every time you eat at your house, try to wash the dish and the utensils that you use when you ate. So wash the plate, the cup, and the utensils. Why? The reason I started doing that for myself is, 1, it makes you never have to wash dishes for an hour if you have a full sink. But 2, what it says to yourself is, hey, I committed to doing this thing. So even if I'm tired, even if it's midnight when I finish eating, this very small thing that I told myself I'm going to do every time I eat, I do it.
Yes.
What I think that locks in your brain is the idea that, hey, whatever you commit to, it's possible for you to be consistent with it. And if you're consistent, it can change things.
Yes.
So even though that's really small and it's something that you have complete control over, right? It can be nobody else's fault that you didn't wash your dish. Even if you were in a rush, it takes 30 seconds. So that's just one little small thing that I do that helps kind of, those types of small exercises, whether it be working out or washing your dish or whatever, can build up your consistency. And then, of course, as you apply it to business, consistency in your marketing and your message and all that stuff. So that actually leads me to my next point. That's number 4, which is the presence and position of your business. Marketing says that it takes like 7 touches. In real estate, some people say it takes 33 touches, right? Touches means how many times the customer actually saw branding for your business, saw
Right.
a
A
marketing
post,
message,
a
saw
logo,
exactly right.
video.
How many times did they hear from you? How many times did they see you on their timeline?
Email.
If that's one time 6 months ago, people are going to forget.
Exactly.
If your marketing is bad, right? You have a really ugly black and white flyer that you made on Microsoft Word and you didn't do a good job at it.
Yeah, I use
right?
Fiverr. They can do a good job for you.
When she says Fiverr, you can go to the website called Fiverr.
Fiverr.com.
They have people who are professional graphic designers and will do your logo and all this other stuff for like $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, right? So if you're not good at those things, choose that option or options like it to make sure that your business is doing better. You can hire someone to manage your social media if you don't post frequently. But
Right.
what you need to make sure that you do is have a business that's positioned in your customer's mind in a way that says to them, hey, I should use them. Because people do usually buy for a couple of reasons. Either it's convenient, right? So I might pass Quick Trip every time I go down the street. So that's where I stop and get gas because it's convenient.
Right.
Or it's superior. Right, so there's this restaurant. I want sushi, and I know the sushi restaurant that I really want to go to is 45 minutes away. I might drive all the way there. It's not convenient, but I know it's better than the rest of them. So if you don't have presence, right, that consistency that you just talked about, so that you're top of mind for your customers, and you're not positioned in a way that they say, hey, it's worth it, even if it's not convenient, then that may be a reason that your friends aren't supporting you.
Absolutely. You have to be unforgettable in business. You have to be. That's a huge word, unforgettable.
Absolutely.
You know, make sure that your clients, your friends, your family know you are that go-to person for whatever business it is that you want to be a part of.
Absolutely.
So number 3 is going to be reciprocation. That's a big one. Reciprocation. So, you know, are you one of those friends that, you know, only hit people up when you have a new business idea or you want them to buy something from you? Or, you know, you want them to come to an event that you're hosting. If they don't hear from you during the week or, you know, I don't talk to my friends every day. I love them to death. They know that I'm busy.
Right.
But at the same time, we have that kind of reciprocal relationship where they know if they, you know, post something, I might share it. Or if I post something, they're going to share it or like it or comment. Right. You know, just having that consistent support going back and forth between both parties. If one person starts to feel like they're supporting you more than they're supporting them, that can cause breakage in your relationship.
Right.
So make sure that you don't just have a one-sided expectation of, okay, you know, I had this business, you know, you should be supporting me. No, it doesn't necessarily work like that. You know, it doesn't matter how long you've been friends, you have to have a reciprocal relationship in order for it to really last. It has to be mutually beneficial.
Someone taught me something when I was a sophomore in college. And they said that the way that I was dealing in some ways, although I was smart and all that stuff, was transactional. And so what that meant is you only engage when you feel like there's a benefit on the other side of that conversation. And that really struck me, right? Because what it meant is that people don't want to be around that kind of person. And I saw that once I changed that thing about my personality, even though I wasn't being intentional, I was a nice person at my core, I didn't realize that I was being that way. I'm an introvert. I don't often like to talk a lot. So I may say something, but it may only be when I'm ready for there to actually be an exchange, right? But what it meant to me is say, hey, just like when you go to the store, right? You don't talk to that cashier at any other point unless you're trying to buy something or make an exchange.
Right.
Don't treat your friends that way, right? Don't let
That's
your
a good
friends
point.
only hear from you when there's supposed to be an exchange. Check on their friends, check on their family, and check on them so that when it's time to support your business, you're dealing with a warm relationship.
Right.
As opposed to just, hey, I haven't heard from you in months, but you got $5,000 for my business?
Yeah. It don't work like that.
I don't even know you.
So you can't get disappointed
Right.
if you know that the relationship hadn't been warmed up in a while.
Right. And then, so reason number 2, right? We're counting down. We went 7 all the way down. We're at number 2. People are selfish, right?
Yeah.
It's not a really complicated concept, but it's true. And it's not always just a malicious, mean selfishness, right? They're not just saying, hey, I don't want you to have anything that I have, right? People are selfish over their internet real estate is what I call it. Meaning, think about your Instagram page or your Facebook page, right? Or anything like it. Think about how many times you post to support local businesses, friends, family that you know may be having a baby shower or anything for their business, a car wash or a cookout or a fundraiser. Maybe not that often, especially on Instagram.
Right.
Because what it does is it does a couple things. It takes attention off of me if I post your stuff. And then 2, it makes my page look ugly, right? Because your flyer might not be good.
No, I only post on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
Like, you know, you messing up my theme
Right.
here.
And then 3, it may make my followers annoyed and they might unfollow me because they're like, Austin's always posting about some random stupid business that's not why I follow Austin. I wanted to see pictures of his life. updates about what he has going on, as opposed to all these credit building or finance building or bicycle shops, right?
Yeah.
They don't care about that. And so people are selfish and they don't want to interrupt the flow of what they've already got going online.
Right.
A lot of people, although they're not professionals, are trying to build a brand presence. Everybody wants a lot of a lot of people want a lot of followers, and so in order to get that, it's not usually coming from a page that's incongruent, has a bunch of ugly, funky stuff, and random posts about random businesses. So if that person knows that, they then say, "Hey, I know it would help your business, but sorry, I don't really want to." Or I may post this, but I only leave it up for 10 hours or 12 hours. I may take it right back down after the event's over.
Right.
That's,
Well, I think selfishness is a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, that's the good side of selfishness. There's another side to selfishness as well. And I'm guilty of this, selfishness with your time. When you're a business owner, sometimes you have to be selfish with your time. Right now I'm in a place where I'm really, really working hard to build my brand, build my presence, as you mentioned. So I don't necessarily have the time to attend all the events that I want to attend or go out and hang out as much as I would like to hang out with friends and things of that nature. So sometimes that's the cycle of life. And, those friends that are going to be with you during that cycle of life, are the same ones that'll be with you when you have more time, you have more flexibility and availability. So sometimes it can be hard, it can be hurtful to, really draw back and focus on yourself. But sometimes you have to do that. You have to take 10 steps back to take 20 steps, forward sometimes in your business. So that leads me to point number 1. It doesn't have to do anything with being selfish, but this is something that I've been told all my life. And that's why I had to wear this shirt for y'all today. Because, yes, I like to do the most. My friends, family, people that meet me say I'm extra all the time. And sometimes that can be off-putting to people. It's like, oh, she's always doing the most. You know what I mean? She always has to do something big and, go over the top and,
another business.
Another business, you know what I mean? So, oh, what is Denise doing now? She's always doing something, and it used to be offensive to me sometimes when I would hear that from people, because it's like, I'm not trying to do the most. I'm not trying to be extra. I'm being me. This is just something I'm really interested in. Y'all know I'm got my coins. If you know me, you know that. So to me, I just thought that I was just doing what I wanted to do to make myself and my son's life better. But people can take that offensively and think that you're trying to outdo them.
Right.
And I think that that's a personal thing that people have to just deal with on their own.
Right.
If you just stay in your lane and focus on what you want to do, then you won't think other people are trying to outdo you or be extra or, over the top.
Right.
Right.
That ties into a point about relatability, right? Progress is offensive to complacent people. And so
talk that talk.
The reason that's the case is this. Think about this. You can't receive constructive criticism unless your foundation is solid. Otherwise, you may take offense and think that it's just hate. Right? So as a parallel to that, when you are doing things with your life and you're putting them out there, you're marketing them, you're publishing them, you're having events, it's not like you're giving that person criticism, but your lifestyle is serving as an example of maybe what they should be doing or that they feel they should be doing. And so it's offensive. It doesn't feel good to watch someone else have the discipline to execute against the things that I might be thinking about myself and I just don't have the discipline to do. And so if I'm complacent, I don't have the dedication or the discipline, and I might also not have the vision. So your life might be too big to fit within the lens or scope that I can see. And so that often leads to a lack of support, because it's not just that, hey, I don't understand what you're doing, but I may feel like I should be doing it myself, right?
Yeah.
And I know that I'm not, and I know that I don't have plans to. So if I don't plan on getting better, I don't want to support you getting better. I think it happens often.
Yeah.
And that's an internal battle that people have to have.
Yeah.
But if you know anything about pearls, right? A pearl is produced as a result of a piece of sand getting caught in a clam. And it works it irritates the clam. And it works to get that piece of sand out. And eventually a pearl is created, right? So there can be something beautiful created out of that friction, that irritation.
Right.
Because finally I could say, I'm tired of watching them do so well, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm going to sabotage their business. Me saying I'm tired of watching them do so well could then be the moment that I decide I'm going to do better for myself.
Better for myself. There's
And-
so much out here for us all to win.
Right.
We
right.
can all win.
Right.
And I want everybody around me, everybody in my circle. My team knows this about me. I want them all to win.
Right.
I want all my friends to win. I want everybody, to shine. And that's just all a personal decision.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. Nobody can make you lose and nobody can make you win. You are responsible for your destination.
Right. And so work with others and do this simple thing. One last thing I forgot to mention. Throughout all these 7, we talked about why your friends don't support you, but we didn't talk about the one person that usually does support you on every single post, no matter what. It's usually a social media follower that you do not know.
Yeah.
Right? Why
I saw
is
that meme the other day.
Right.
It's like nobody supports you like a Instagram follower you never met.
Exactly. But here's one of the reasons that could be possible. They didn't grow up from the same place you did.
Right.
They haven't watched you progress, and they don't know where you came from. So all they see is the positivity, and they may actually just be a good person that wants to see you do well. There may not be an immediate comparison, and thus they don't feel that jealousy or that friction because they're not that close to you.
Right.
So they're just glad to see. It may be inspiring to them because they may have nobody in their hometown that's doing something like that.
Right.
And so they can't wait to meet you. And I've seen a lot of people become friends, do business, maybe even get married because of that connection online. And it comes from people that you may not know. So, hey, think about that. And then think about the fact that, hey, whoever that person is, that may be your target customer. And try to market to people that are like that person.
Absolutely.
If your friends aren't going to support you, maybe the people that are like that person will. And eventually, this is what happens. Because nobody wants to root for the loser, right? Nobody wants to cheer for the losing team. Eventually, when you start winning, the very same people that did not support you will say, I knew all along.
Right.
And they may show up to the events. They might start sending money, sending gifts,
and it's all
and
love.
clapping for you. And you don't have to be bitter about it. Don't let hate be your motivation.
Right.
Because that fuel isn't enough to get your vehicle all the way to
not.
the end of the road of success.
You have to want it for yourself.
You have to want it for yourself, and it cannot be about someone else because that's a divided focus. Your focus has to be on the destination, right? Not just about the people that you can step on all the way or that you can show that you finally made it.
No,
right? That's such a ridiculous
that.
mindset.
It's
and
not
it's
about
small,
that at all.
right? And so the saying is, it's hard to be big when little has you. And so what that means is it's hard to elevate and be huge when your mind is on the small thing. The small thing being, hey, this person didn't support me, and I want to show them that I do well. That's silly. So do well. Make sure that you're conscious of the people that are in your circle. If they don't support you, maybe you can think about why, figure it out, and maybe it's something that you actually can do better. That can make them
something that you need to work on.
That will make them do so. But if it's not, keep your mind on the right thing, right?
Eyes on the prize.
Keep your eyes on the prize. So what we will do is wrap the show like this, like we always do. We'll say, work is what you do.
Love is why you do it.
And it is possible to have balance if you build with the right partner. Thank y'all so much. I hope, not even I hope, I know that you will do these following couple of things, right? Like our Facebook and Instagram page, right? Follow us, on Facebook and Instagram. Like this post, and then subscribe to our YouTube, right? Leave some comments and let us know what you might want to hear next week or the next few weeks, because we're interested in the engagement and we want to bring topics that are actually valuable, right? It's not just about what we think. We want to know what the community thinks as well.
What you want to hear, what you want us to talk about.
So I'm so thankful that you watched this episode, and we'll be back next week. Looking forward to it.
Next week.
See you guys next time.